Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. And for those who are new here, who have just stumbled upon my channel, welcome. And my name is Anna. So today, as you can see, we are talking about let go of excuses. Now the date is the 30th of March, so it's Mother's Day for us here in the UK. And I was woken up this morning by some beautiful variety of gifts from my 18-year-old daughter, who doesn't have a job, but she saves her little money, her little bursary, and she bought me a big beautiful selection of chocolates, very good brand, that, well, I can't remember what they call them, and it lights up. We put the batteries in, but I need to anyway. So yeah, so she bought me some beautiful things, and she made me feel special. She made me feel supported by buying that for the channel, and she just remembering. So this is what spurred me on to make this the topic today. Stop making excuses, women. If you have woken up today and you have a partner in your life, and you have somebody, a significant other, even if you're not married, but you have a pretty well established relationship, and you've woken up today and you haven't received, you know, any of your gifts, you know, princess or queen treatments, you haven't received anything that's making you feel special or added to this brilliant, beautiful day of celebrating women, then it's time to really look into what's going on. If you are the one who has not celebrated the woman today, shame on yourself. And I'm not even condoning sticking up for you or trying to make no excuses. I don't care about payday, traffic, I don't care about what you've been through, because Mother's Day, I mean, I'm not into all of the other celebratory times, but Mother's Day and your birthday, in my opinion, and Father's Day, those are real to our human life, because mothers do a great job, most of us. Same with fathers, some of them do a great job and some of them don't. Now, we deserve to get our flowers. Both sexes deserve to get your flowers, your accolades, your acknowledgements, your love, your support, spoiling, your beautiful treatment on these days, because you deserve it. Now, if you haven't given it to your partner, then you need to look into that. I mean, don't be surprised later on if you don't get anything. Don't be surprised if, you know, she's vexed for the rest of the day just with you. Don't be surprised if you get a burnt part of the dinner. Don't be surprised if, you know, she's talking on the phone and she's looking at you and just going, cause what that means is the friend saying, well, he didn't get you nothing. Nothing at all. And he's there looking in your face. And he thinks you're gonna cook for him. I hope you don't think he's gonna get tonight. That's what's going on. So, and you've only brought it on yourself. Don't do that. And it's unfair to say, oh, next year do better, because she's got to wait a whole nother 12 months for you to get your act together, to get it right the following year. Pathetic, ridiculous, not in this day and age. So I'm actually gonna say I'm ashamed of you. You should make more of an effort, and don't let the children see that you can let a day like this go by, because then they will grow up thinking that it's all right to forget. And certain days it is not all right to forget, not for what we do. When you know that woman beside you, she is top tier in her role. She doesn't falter as a mother. She takes her responsibilities seriously, and she gives and divides her love equally amongst her children, plus loving you. Don't ever make that mistake again. Now, this might be the first year that a man, woman has made that mistake. You will learn pretty quickly. Don't ever ever do it again. So that's one way that I want to talk about. Stop making excuses. Another way I want to speak about in stop making excuses, let go of making excuses, is because certain people are of a timeline where we've been there, we've done that, we've heard it, and it is pretty embarrassing when you are in our older stage of your life and you're still coming with excuses. That will just block you from everything. We expect excuses to be made by people who are young, just starting out, don't really know what's expected. Like, that's when we say, yeah, we'll work with it. We know it's but we'll work with it, but not when you're older. When you're older, you have to come better. So, like, if you meet somebody and they ask you a simple question like, what do you do for a living? And you may feel like you don't want to say that you're a cleaner, or, you know, a job that is not as desirable, and you're making excuses as to why you've got that job. The same energy it's taken to make those excuses is the same energy you can do better for yourself. A lot of the times, whatever it is that we like or we don't like, it is absolutely best that we just own it. Look, I'm a cleaner at the moment. You know, it suits me. I've got school run to do. It's a couple of hours. That's all I really need. And, you know, I know that things are going to be different within the next 6 months because I planned for things to be different. But this pays the bills right now. Done. You've just owned it. You're not ashamed of it. It is what it is. It's money for you at the end of the day. It's an honest graft, you know, honest days living, month's pay, whatever. But the excuses, I'm fed up of it. I've been hearing people, grown men, grown women, making excuses now, and it is quite sad. So I'm here to just say, own it. It is what it is, and move on. But the excuses is pitiful. Another way of making excuses as well is when you think in your mind that where you are in your life, you should be somewhere else, somewhere higher, somewhere better, somewhere more lucrative, somewhere more accomplished, achieved. People make excuses as well. They start speaking about their life path and, oh, you know, so and so died and this and that happened and I had an accident and a blah blah blah. And I mean, there is nothing wrong with saying a little bit about what's happened in your life that may have temporarily held you back, but after a while it sounds like excuses and nobody wants to hear them. I'm not saying lie, but don't give so much information, and don't be so excuse making that you don't have any solutions. Like, after you've made the excuses, like, have some solutions that go after that. Like, you know, make an excuse of, this is why, you know, we can't have a much more extravagant or fast-paced date because I sprained my ankle doing a 5-kilometer run. But we can have a date of your choice, because I know you like higher impact things, when I'm feeling better again and when I'm fully healed again. So you see, you've made the excuse, but then you've also created a solution. Now, somebody who is of, you know, their time is valuable and they haven't got time to waste or mess about, they can hear that kind of excuse because a solution is on the tailback of it right straight away. It is not just an excuse and that is it. Imagine if someone said, a man or a woman said, oh yeah, you know, sorry, we can't have a much more fast-paced date or a more outgoing date because I sprained my ankle when I did that 10-kilometer run last week, but, you know, choose what you want from the menu. And that's it. Like that person, like if it was me, I'd probably order everything big, the lobster, the this, that, the whatnot. I don't drink champagne. That gets you guys off the hook. But you know, or alcohol. It's not just champagne. I don't drink alcohol, but I'd order the big food and be like, I'm not seeing him again, because that means for all the rest of the time, I'm just gonna have these low, mediocre dates, and I could actually be going out with other people who could offer me a lot more. Now we're definitely wised up now, us women, and we know that our value is higher, our self-worth is a lot more than some women were giving themselves credit for. Things are changing. The culture is changing, and I'm really proud of that, because there are a lot of women who were settling. They weren't giving themselves or believing that they even deserved to have the best, but they are now. And we're all leveling up. We're all making ourselves look more beautiful. We're taking in more knowledge. We're learning more skills. You know, we're not making excuses for the men that are out there now. We want better men, so we are tolerating less of the excuses. Now when men see that, they have to level up and say, do you know what, if I'm stepping to that lady, that woman, I'm gonna have to step to her correctly, because look at the way she treats herself, so I cannot go in over there and treat her any less. So the excuses is just, it's just like so wide spectrum that they have to stop. And that's why I'm just saying straight at the beginning of this video, just own them. Whatever it is that you're doing, own it. Because if you intend and plan to level up and get better at what you're doing, own where you are in the moment. That is fine, but you know that you are going to be doing better, achieving better. And because you have that mindset, that is what you're going to go after. That is what you're going to attract. So it doesn't matter. Like, we can meet you and you can meet us where we are, as long as we have the ambitions, keyword, the ambitions to move further, higher in life. If not, and you are moving backwards or lower in life, you're going to get left behind. The excuses need to stop. I own my own food truck, as some of you know, and I speak to a lot of people. So this is where my people watching skills, my statistics come from. And when people come to me for food, I'm not going to start chatting your business, customers, don't worry. But when people come to me for food and we strike up a conversation, some of them, and they're saying to me, like, you know, why they can't work, or why they can't this, or why they can't that. And I think to myself, it's so easy for me to say I've got a solution for it, but I'm at the stage now, and I hope women, you are gonna start doing this. Be at the stage now where you can't even tell a man, like, oh, try this or do that, because they do not like when you step in that way to tell them something. You're either going to get, oh yeah, I thought about it, you know, but because my mum and my gran, I've got to do stuff for them, and you get all of that. Then if it's not that excuse, then it's going to be another one, like, oh yeah, because I'm on universal credit, I've got to be able to just only work a certain amount of hours, and then I can't do anything more than that. And it's like, well, create a side hustle. To even tell a man nowadays, it's like you're emasculating him. Like, create a side hustle. What are you good at? Okay, why don't you buy merchandise, you know, buy some afro combs, or, you know, buy some blah, 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 and put those on eBay, or put those online and sell them. Or maybe, you know, there's a student that you may know that could do with a little bit of extra money, and they're very good at tech. Maybe they could create you a little website, or go over to Spotify, or did it. You can't even say anything to them anymore, and that is why now, which I don't blame us women, we are not looking for potential. We are not looking for the ones who are still in the stages of building their craft. We are going for the ones who have it figured out and are actually making money. And if we needed a little bit of a nudge, maybe, you know, we're doing something in our business and they see that and say, babe, you know, a quicker way that you could get that done, and they could give a bit of advice, because women, we take the knowledge, the wisdom, the advice, we listen. Even if we're not going to apply it, we listen so that we can see if it's something we need to tick off the box, like, oh yeah, I thought about that, babe, or something we need to put on the box, like, what a good idea. And most of the time, even if it's something that you want to tick off the box, like been there, done that, you still say, what a good idea, because it keeps him open to coming back to you with more things. Why shut down something just because you thought of it and it's not good for you? You shut down a person that's going to do that for you. They're going to then think, oh, well, she knows it all, so I won't even tell her anything else that I see. So keep it open, where you're not alienating anyone, whether that's a partner or just a friend or a business friend, that they can still come and tell you something that they might think would be of benefit to you. You know, it's not good to be making the excuse that, oh, you know, I've been in my business for 10 years and I know what I'm doing and I've been there, because you'll just get left on your own. And when new you know, tech comes out, when new policies come out, anything new at all, even the way that you receive your money, PayPal sent me an email the other day saying, oh, we're changing some of the ways that we do things, and I had to look into that. Now, I had another e-commerce friend who already told me, oh, do you know that PayPal are changing some of the methods and the things that they do now in the way that you receive your money? And I was like, no. And then about 2 days later, I got an email. So imagine. And I was like, no, I didn't know about that. Tell me more. And then they told me. Then I read it in the email. So I got the information twice. So I would rather have the information twice than the information once or not at all. It cannot do you any harm. That's another way of let go of making excuses. Let go of making excuses for the things that are not happening in your life, that you really want them to happen in your life, and you are making an excuse for as to why it is not. Like, some parents choose to make the excuse of the fact that they've got children, why they can't start up a home business or online business, why they can't go for a walk an hour a day, you know, the ones who want to lose weight. They make excuses about the way that they even eat. Oh, you know, I've got to buy certain things for the kids. They like eating da-da-da-da. So because I'm buying it for them, you know, I sometimes, one pops into my mouth. Like, stop making excuses. You don't have to. You could buy what the children need, and then you could buy what you should have if you're saying that you want to make a change in your life. So again, it's more excuses. I know some people as well, they have pets, and say like, for example, the husband will take the dog out for a walk more, and then I might say, you know, in hindsight, oh, you want to go for a walk more? Here's the excuse. Oh no, but I don't want to go on my own. Oh, well then go take the dog. Oh no, but my husband does it. Okay, well tell your husband that you'll do it 1 day a week. Oh no, but you know, he really loves doing it. That's how he thinks. He likes to walk the dog and think. But what are you doing? You're talking or complaining or moaning that you want to go and do more exercise, and you have a dog and you don't want to walk it because your husband. Like, if I had an exercise class that I was going to 2-3 times a week, somebody like that I wouldn't invite, because my instructor would probably see them once and never again. And that's not me being harsh or putting them down, but people who make excuses, they don't stick to anything because another excuse comes up, something else comes up why they cannot do this anymore. So my thing to say, and I'm sorry, it's going to sound harsh, keep away from people who make excuses. People who make excuses will not show up for you. Just like today's Mother's Day, and you've got this man, this woman, this whoever in your life that say they love you, care for you, you're an amazing mom, you do a great job, and they couldn't be bothered to book a restaurant, buy a perfume, a nice gift, surprise you with something, set you a bath, just do something, you know, thoughtful for you, and they couldn't be bothered, making excuses, wanna wait 1 whole year to get it right next time. Nah, just get rid of it. Save yourself the heartache, the trauma, you know, and I mean the trauma to your children, because they see that, they think it's all right to do that. Save all of that and get rid of anybody in your life. Let them go if they are full of excuses. It's not attractive, it's not appealing, and it doesn't scream, I'm so lucky to have you, you know, I feel so blessed to be with you, when you're a person who is excuses based and not solution based. And then the nerve of it, the person who's full of excuses feels like, my partner's not doing the most for me.
Well, of course they're not.
And then if it's a selfish excuse maker who then, when it's their birthday or Father's Day, is expecting or looking for what you're gonna do for them, it's like, if it's me, I'm gonna get violent.
I'm gonna get in a rage. I'm gonna get pissed off.
So it's just best that I give excuses people a wide berth. Now, I've been through this, and this is why I'm telling you, I've been there and I've done that, and I said never again, because it is maddening. And in a way, it's like you're begging somebody to see you, value you, and treat you right, and your actions should speak louder than words. If you are one of these parents, mothers or fathers, that really fulfill your role, your actions will speak louder than words. You should not have to protest or manipulate or do anything to get your accolades. It should just come. I'm so sorry. If my daughter that doesn't even have a job, yeah, can do something so sweet, and she's been doing it for years, right? And I know already, I don't even have to call her into this video to say, babe, how do you do it? She's gonna say, well, Mum, I know when Mother's Day is, so I just start saving my money 2 weeks before, and then I think of something I can buy, something I can do myself creative, and I think about what you're doing at the moment, Mum, and at the moment you're on YouTube, and at the moment, Mum, you know, you're eating, you're trying to lose some weight, so you're not into big bits, so I've got you a nice little selection box of chocolates. You can have one every day or every other day, or however you want to do it. Like, thought's gone into it, and look, that has made me the happiest mum. That's made me wake up this morning to a knock on my door and not even like thinking she was going to do anything for me, and again she has. So if my child can do it and your children can do it, then why can't your partner? I mean, when we was at school and it used to be like Mother's Day, and I'm like, you know, in my 40s, but I can remember making cards and Valentine's Day cards for my mum, and my mum used to smile and feel happy. And I'm sure there's a lot of men, maybe their mothers didn't have a good reaction to their cards, maybe that's why they don't do it. And I'm not here to be anyone's therapist or psychologist or finish raising these men, because if your mum's face was sour when you brought home the cards because, you know, she had dinner to look about, or maybe she was on her way to work or whatever. You're of age now where you know that's why her face was sour. Do better for the woman in your life now that's doing really good job at raising your children. They're your children. And even if they're not your children, even if you have one child with her and one child that is not yours, you still do as if they're both your children. Take them both out and say to them, pick something for your mum, sort that all out, and let them have that to give the mum on Mother's Day, and then you have your little gifts and whatever for her on the Mother's Day. So let go of excuses. There is nowhere that they can wash with me. They used to when I was younger. I wasn't as experienced and I just didn't think anything of it, because again, I've always been that woman who I can buy this for myself, get that for myself, do this for myself. So I wasn't always looking at what can a man do for me. But I'm sorry, that changed a long time ago, probably in my late 30s. Like, I used to get things, don't get it twisted, all right? And I used to request and demand stuff, don't get it twisted. But in my late 20s, not 30s, sorry, in my late 20s, it was a demand. It had to be, it had to happen, because there was nothing wrong with this and there was nothing wrong with nothing else. So they had to do what they had to do to keep me here, or else why would I stay? So that's the self-esteem I had. That's the ego, if you want to call it, that I had. That's the opinion, the self-love that of myself that I had. And when I had partners who felt like they didn't need to make the effort on those days that were special to me, I would be the angriest, maddest silverback you could find. And it just wasn't nice for them, because the rest of their day, it was like they were invisible, and it chips away at you. A little piece, a little piece, a little piece of them forgetting your birthday, making excuses on your birthday, on Mother's Day, making excuses as to why they couldn't bring this home for you. You know, all these things, they chip away at you, and in the end, you just feel like, nah. And it's not that it's about the stuff, because it's the thought that counts. Like, thoughtful men who call you when they're on their way home and they're like, babe, are you good? Yeah, okay, I'm on my way home, I'm at such and such area or place, is there anything you need? That alone is like, I'm gonna go and set the bath for when he walks through the door, he's got a hot bath waiting. Like, people and men don't realize that these little small things, and I know you've heard about the small things, these little small things are the things that get your little feet into the door. You don't have to beg for certain things when you come home, because if you do those little things, show her that you've been thinking about her, that you are considerate, that you are, you know, I don't want to just be like a man, but it is like you're a man. You know, you're here to protect and provide, and women are here to comfort and nurture you whilst you are doing that. Comfort and nurture the children, comfort and nurture the home. If we want to have businesses and we want to work, it's up to us, but a man is supposed to provide in a way that it's a choice for us, because we are that great as women, that we do not have to work hard like a man, because we are not a man, we are a woman. And I wouldn't have it any other way than what it is right now. So the excuses thing, no. And I don't want to hear any men putting down any women about their mothering skills and why they didn't get something and why they don't do something, because you're still putting the key through the door every evening, you're still finding your way back there, you're still calling it home, you're still laying in the bed, you're still bathing in the house, you're still doing all of those things. But then when it's good for you, you want to make the excuse of, the reason why I didn't do this or do as much is because, you know, you don't always do everything that you're supposed to do. And shut up, okay? So yeah, I'm done with that. But on another note, because I like to be accountable for myself and the things I do, I am not going to say that I have not made excuses myself. And even in the example of my channel, sometimes I'm like, right, I can't make a video because, but I could. I don't want to do the editing today because, but I can. So, you know, we all do it, but why I think it may seem a little bit different for me and for those types of excuses is because it's just to myself. I'm not, you know, impacting somebody else with my excuses. I mean, yes, I'm impacting my subscribers and my viewers, but in my, you know, personal one-on-one life, I'm not impacting. I show up as a mum, I show up as a partner, I show up as a responsible adult, I show up in all those other ways. So I use that excuse of all these things I am over here as to why I can't do this video or do this editing. But saying that anyway, I am soon going to be going live and I won't have any editing to do, as I feel like my confidence has built up more now for my videos, because I was watching a few of them back, one called The Ego in Me, and I was like this, I was sat up and I was like, and the ego in you, and I was just stiff as a board. Whereas now, as you can see, I'm more relaxed, I've got more confidence, I'm not thinking of, you know, I don't feel like, oh, where's the camera, like I have to look right into the camera lens. No. And watching other content creators, seeing the way that they do it, you know, it just gives you more permission in a way to just be yourself. No one's looking for perfection, or else you're not going to start anything. So I'm actually really looking forward to be going live soon, and I do have a Patreon that I'd love you guys to just, you know, you can be a member if you want and receive some of the goodies that I create for you, or you can be a member for free and just, you know, send messages, support me, give me ideas. Like I put panels out, not panels, I put options out, like what should I talk about this week. You can like vote on that, not options, a poll that you can vote on what topic should I talk about this week. So I am getting, this is what all the learning is from, and this is not an excuse because I really was learning why I was taking a break, learning the algorithms, learning how that works, how am I going to get my videos out, how am I creating my community, how am I making my message get you know, further out to people, which is just let it go. It's not serving you, let it go. Stop with the excuses, stop with the feeling guilty, feeling bad, stop with the how long you've known somebody. Stop with all these reasons as to why you just can't let it go. You know, you're holding something, just let it go. It's not worth it. Some people, it's turning them older quicker. Some people, it's making them look uglier. Some people, it's a weight on their shoulders, a heavy burden. Let it go. And that's it. You know, like, it's really weird. The other day, about 2 months ago, before I went away, I was looking at my phone. I went right back to pictures, right back to messages, and I was looking at all these messages and stuff that I'd kept from, because, you know, I keep telling you that a lot of people have left my life at the moment, and there was a lot of screenshots and stuff in there. This is where my mind used to be at. And it was like, the second you and somebody come up against an opposition, and or in another quicker way to describe it, like a he said, she said, or your word against my word, and then you may screenshot a conversation to see, like, you know, you could go one step further where it's like you're going to show somebody, like, this is what he said, and this is what I said back, and this is what she said, and this is what I said to her. I did it because you are looking for someone else to say, to validate that, oh yeah, they were wrong and you're right, or oh no, that's out of order, you was right to tell them off. So it's like, I was seeing bits and pieces like that. I was seeing screenshots. I was seeing like all sorts of like evidency looking stuff in my phone, and I just deleted them. Deleted. And when I looked at the date, like, when did I screenshot this? I was like, why am I keeping this for so long? Like, which court, which judge, which jury am I standing in front of to say this is how it went, Your Honor? Like, who am I? Who? Like, get rid of it. We don't need that kind of you know, proof, evidence. For what? So again, I just took it out my phone. Don't need to see it. It doesn't need to be in there. I don't want that energy around me. I don't have that mindset anymore, because now I'm in the mindset of letting things go. If somebody and me were to start sparring in a negative way, which would not even happen again for me at all in my life, but let's just say if me and somebody were to start sparring in a negative way, I'm not, or texting, yeah, whether it's sparring verbally, texting, whatever, I wouldn't be keeping the evidence of anything, because it wouldn't go anywhere. I'm not debating with anybody. I'm not trying to get into like oh sorry, I'm not trying to get naked, but I'm trying to, feels a bit uncomfortable from the back end. Yeah, I'm not debating with anybody. I'm not trying to influence somebody to see my side, take my side, hear my point, If we do not share the same or similar kind of mindset, our conversations are not going to be extensive enough to start sparring with each other. They just wouldn't. My mindset has evolved. My behavior has evolved so much that I would just, you know, and we've heard it all before growing up, agree to disagree, you know, just say okay, even if you don't agree with it. Why are you going to stand there and argue with somebody just to get your point across or your voice heard? It's draining, it's tiring. And then at the end, if the person even says, all right, Anna, you win, what are you going to be like? Finally. Like, it does not doing anything for you. So like, you've just come home with like, you know, a big 10-ounce steak where you're like, yeah, I got this because I debated, and now we're going to eat a really great meal. Like, it just doesn't do anything. So I say to people, just stop. My viewers, my subscribers, just stop. Stop debating with those who make excuses. Stop trying to see their point of view. When somebody is trying to, could be manipulate, you know, gaslight, control you into a way of thinking that it lets them off the hook because they forgot or they can't or they won't, and they're making excuses for it. Save yourself a lot of time and try to see it for what it is really, really quickly. Do not start, for example, like if your child can see, because some kids are smart, you know, and they can see like, mummy, he's talking rubbish.
And you're like, but no, because it's true. I've been there lots of times, you know, there's traffic, and then by the time he gets to the flower shop, it's closed. No.
You just look stupid. And if you don't want to look desperate, that's looking desperate. That's looking like you love him more than you love yourself. And that's not a good look at all. So yeah, drop your comments below about letting go of excuses, especially if you have let go of an excuse maker before in your life. Like, you've seen them for what they are. You've realized, like, everything I suggest, they got an excuse why they can't. Like, please tell me your scenario. Keep it brief so that I can read them, but tell me your scenario of dealing with and getting rid of and letting go of an excuse maker. So I'll look forward to reading those. I am going to bid you good day. And thank you for your continued support, my YouTube family, my subscribers. And even if you're just passing through and you've, you know, stumbled across my content, my channel, my videos, just put a like. If you don't want to subscribe to me because I'm new to you, fair enough. You want to see a bit more, I get that. But at least if you agree with the message, you like the message, then just give me a like. It's free and I appreciate that. So until we talk again, be safe and take care. Let go of excuses. Bye.